Yes, some big news coming in on deepfakes as the Modi government swinging into action just a day after the key meeting with all the internet intermediaries. The government sources tell us that the government has given a good 7 days for platforms to comply. Government assigning an officer who will be looking into deepfake content on these platforms. Government to assist citizens in filing FIRs against social media platforms in case they find a fake video of theirs on a platform and aren't able to do anything about it. Then the government now pushing for FIRs to be filed and given 7 days time to comply with the Indian rules. Rajiv Chandrasekhar is speaking on the same. Let's cut across.
Deeply disruptive. It can create divisions and all kinds of disruptions in communities and families. And therefore, deepfakes are a very, very clear and present danger to the safe and trusted internet. That is our goal and our policy. Way back, I reminded them today, I made a presentation to them and I reminded them that way back from October 2022, the government of India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government, has been alerting them to the threat of misinformation and deepfakes, which are part of misinformation. The intermediaries of today all agreed that the current IT rules and under the IT Act provide for adequate compliance requirements on their part to deal with deepfakes. Even as we speak to future regulations and a future law, which is certainly required given that our IT Act is 23 years old, it was emphasized to them again, to which they have agreed, that the current law and the current Act and the current rules under 31B5 provides for compliance requirements by the platforms on misinformation, patently false information, and deepfakes. This has been agreed to by the platforms. I have urged them today and have said that we will follow it up with an advisory and a directive that all platforms must align there and transform their terms of use with their users to be consistent with the 12 areas that are prohibited on the Indian internet under 31B, Rule 31B. And the platforms have agreed in 7 days to ensure that harmonization and that alignment so that every user on every platform is aware that when they use a platform, the platform intends to be a safe and trusted platform, and the platform will not tolerate these 12 types of content, 12 types of information that have been prohibited under the IT Act and the IT rules. The platforms have agreed to that, and we have further informed the platforms that from today onwards, MeitY and the Government of India will nominate a Rule 7 officer and will take a 100% compliance expectation from all the platforms in the 12 harms that have been laid out, way back in October 2022. That is today the law of the land. As far as harms is concerned, that includes deepfakes and also includes CSAM, child sexual abuse material, also includes various other categories of content that are prohibited on the Indian internet. So we look forward to working in partnership with these platforms, and we look forward to an era where they will be a lot more responsible and a lot more responsive to the expectations under the law and a lot more compliant. We have made it very clear today that we will be expecting 100% compliance of the law, and we will use our enforcement tools to ensure that the 100% of the law is complied with.
So there is a platform that you said that will come for the citizens. Can you elaborate on that? How will you?
We will, the Rule 7 officer will also be a person who will create a platform where it will be very easy for digital Nagriks to bring to the attention of the Government of India their notices of allegations of or their notices or allegations or reports of violation of law by the platforms, and the Rule 7 officer will take that digital platform information and respond accordingly. So we'll make it very
Well, that's Rajiv Chandrasekhar there, who's giving us a lowdown on the swift action that the government intends to take and encouraging citizens to go out there and file an FIR if they find a video, a deepfake video of themselves that they aren't able to fix. Social media platforms have been given 7 days to crack down on videos that could be uploaded on their platform. So without sparing anyone here, content creators or the internet intermediaries, the government has now set some guidelines. Aishwarya joining us more on that. Aishwarya, give us more on the BJP and the government of India rather, putting up some SOPs for these internet intermediaries, including Meta, X, any platform that has deepfakes must crack down on it within 7 days' time.
Well, definitely, we have seen how the government and Nabila, no other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been time and again speaking about the fact that a lot of deepfake content has been doing rounds, especially in India and especially on various platforms. The government has now cracked the whip. In fact, today, all the major platforms were called again at the IT ministry, and they were said that we are giving you from the government. They have been given 7 days time, which means that in the next 1 week, the platforms will have to come up with a mechanism. The government on its part, Nabila, is now, making sure that they have a team. There will be an officer who will be appointed. And if as a person you feel that there is some content which you come across, and if your voice is not heard on the platform, then you can come to the government and the government will make sure that an FIR is then lodged. Then you'll be able to drag the platform to the court and then the court will finally decide what to be done. What the government is now telling these platforms is very, very clear that we are giving you time now. You need to comply with all these rules. Otherwise, the government is also mulling, Nabila, let me tell you that they will take down some of the platforms in India for some time. That's also things that the government is now looking at. But yes, the government, very clear that an officer will be appointed very soon. And the next 7 days, very crucial for all the social media platforms. Nabila.
Thanks very much, Aishwarya, for joining us on that. 7 days crucial for all deepfakes to be pulled down. The government, they're putting out strict guidelines. Aishwarya, the government now putting in place some SOPs, giving 7 days deadline to the internet intermediaries like Meta, X platforms to ensure all deepfake content is weeded out with immediate effect. Give us more.
Well, Nabila, we have seen how over the past many months, the kind of content that has been doing rounds on social media is something that the government has been very worried about. Now, deepfakes, especially if it can happen to big celebrities, just imagine what will happen to a regular citizen like you and I. Now, not a lot of people, in fact, have the kind of bandwidth and the kind of knowledge where they can actually drag these big platforms, who have economy into billions of dollars. A lot of these people, in fact, cannot go to courts. The government is now making it very clear that the platforms need to make sure that they put out the advisory in bold, which means that there can be pop-ups, that can be there on these sites which say that this kind of content will not be allowed on the platform. And the second thing that they are doing is now the separate team and an officer has been put in charge. If a citizen feels that he's come across a content which he believes is not correct, and despite making sure that they go and speak with the people concerned, and if nothing happens, then they can come to the government. The government will make sure that an FIR is filed, and then this battle will be fought in the court. So all these things the government is doing, and most importantly, 7 days time, that is a week's time, has been given to all the big platforms by the Indian government, asking them to make sure that all these rules are now being followed to the T. Nabila.